Hi, Sea Hunt Nuts. It's Alec Peirce once again with another episode of my Sea Hunt Remembered playlist. I hope you've been enjoying these things. Here I am in Silver Springs, Florida. Yes, this is March the 3rd. I forget what day it is. I'm on holidays. March the 3rd, 4th, 5th, something, whatever it is. And it's 75 degrees. The sun hasn't quite come up yet. It'll be about 85 in a few minutes. You're welcome, my friends in Toronto. You notice the snow? Anyway, we're here in Silver Springs for a very special reason. Silver Springs is very special to Sea Hunt Nuts because many of the episodes, about 100 of the 155 episodes were actually filmed right here in Silver Springs. The reasons are simple. It's beautiful, it's warm, the water's warm, and the water's crystal clear for photography. Kind of interesting when you think about this. Ziv Productions, they were way ahead in how they produced their TV episodes and movies. They had movies too. They introduced many innovative ideas. Syndication, that is taking the picture and then sending that picture to other TV studios all around the world for them to show on their local stations, was a novel idea. Also, the way in which they shot the episodes was also novel. Commonplace today, but not back then. It used to be if you wanted to make a TV episode, you got the star and you took a picture and you watched and you moved around anywhere you had to go to get the episode. With Sea Hunt, they sometimes had 2 or 3 or 4 episodes in production at the same time. And they would do all of the land shots in the buildings or on the waterfront, maybe down by the beach in California. They would do 2 or 3 episodes and they would store all of those episodes, you see. And then when they needed to do the underwater portion for any one of those 2 or 3 or 4 episodes, and then they would all come to Florida, to Silver Springs. And they would shoot the underwater portion for episode 1. And they shoot the underwater portion for episode 3 and episode 9. They would shoot all those underwater portions while they were here. Then they would go back to California, back to Hollywood, and they would make the episode, splice it all together, and make the complete episode. So why didn't Mike Nelson dive in California? Well, a couple of the episodes he actually did. Simple, the water in California is cold. If he's going to be in the water for any more than about 20, 30 minutes, he'd freeze. So they would shoot most of the underwater episodes someplace warm. The Bahamas was common, a couple in Mexico, and an awful lot of them right here in Silver Springs in Florida. Now, let me show you a couple more things. Pretty neat. This is a picture of, well, I don't need to tell you, do I? You all recognize this fellow. This is Mike Nelson. The actual actor is Lloyd Bridges, of course, but we're going to call him Mike Nelson. Here's Mike Nelson. Standing with his famous fins and regulator and tank and looking buff. Well, he was. He's almost 50 years old in this picture. But boy, he was in good shape. Good-looking man. All the ladies said so and say so even today. Lloyd Bridges, wonderful actor. And hey, where he's standing, if you take a look at where he's standing on some sand. Because where I am right here, he stood right here. This used to be a sand beach. That's right. And if you look in the background, what's in the background? Well, in the background, if you can look closely, I'm not sure if you can, Kevin. Can I hold this still? How's that? Can you see there's some boats in the background, on the water in the background? Those are the glass-bottom boats. 60 years ago, the glass-bottom boats. Now look in the background here, folks. I told you this is where Mike Nelson stood. Right over there, the glass-bottom boats, the same boats. They've been painted a few times and updated, of course. Some have been replaced, but it's the same boat. So Mike Nelson was standing right here when he took this picture. A sand beach. Yeah, I'll prove it to you. Look, right here. I know you all believe me, but here's another postcard. That was actually a postcard. I'm going to show you that quickly there, Kevin. You see, it's a postcard. You can buy this right here at Silver Springs, all right? And then it's a postcard, and it says on the back here, Lloyd Bridges, star of Ziv Television's exciting series Sea Hunt, is seen emerging from Florida's Silver Springs. That's what it says on the back. And you would write the name on here, and you send it out. This one was sent to somebody in San Jose, California. Stamp it and put it in the mail. Don't do that today, do you? No, anyways, there's a postcard with Mike Nelson. Now, here's an even older postcard from Florida's famous Silver Springs. Midway between Tampa and Jacksonville, open daily from sun and so on. So here's a postcard. I want you to get in nice and close to this postcard if you can, Kevin. And maybe, shall I set it down? Will that help at all? No?
A little angle towards me. Got it.
You see that? It's another postcard. Take a look. Can you see the glass-bottom boats in the background? Ah, that's right. I'm standing in the same spot. Can you also see the beach? Can you see the diving tower? Can you see the raft? Can you see all the guys and girls jumping into the water and swimming and diving, having a great time? Yes, right where we're standing right here used to be a playground, a beach waterfront playground, water sports and rafting and swimming and all kinds of things. And of course, in the background here at Silver Springs, the famous glass bottom boats flying around. So in the 50s, when that picture of Mike Nelson was taken, he was standing right here on the water and taking that picture. Now, Silver Springs made a big deal about the fact that they were filming Sea Hunt. Here's a travel brochure. You remember these? You can still get these. Some hotels have these. And what can you see if you're visiting Ocala area in Florida? So you go to the front desk of the hotel and you pick up one of these. Oh, Florida Silver Spring, home of the world famous glass bottom boats. Whoa, and there's some great pictures in here. Oh, this is great. Let's go and see Silver Springs, kids. And there's a map of Florida inside. This is old. This is 50 years old. There's a map of Florida in the inside. Shows you where Silver Springs is and some of the pictures of Silver Springs. Oh, yeah, all this kind of neat stuff on the inside. And oh, look, see where Sea Hunt is made. Underwater scenery. Ah, right on there. Printed right on there. It proves and shows that Sea Hunt was filmed right here in Silver Springs. I have another one here. This one's even more interesting. Another travel brochure for Florida's famed underwater fairyland, Silver Springs. There's a drawing of a glass bottom boat and a very, very pretty lady standing on the front. Glass bottom boats in the background, and she's standing on the beach right here where it used to be. And there's a signature on here. What's that? Betty Frazee. Betty Frazee. That is Betty Frazee, 50 years ago. Betty Frazee is special to Sea Hunt fans too. If you don't know that name, let me spell it out for you. Betty Frazee is the girl in the trunk. That's right. If you know the Sea Hunt episodes, you remember the Sea Hunt episode where there was a magician, an escape artist, and he would handcuff a girl, a pretty girl, and put her in a trunk and throw her off. And then he would say the magic words and she would escape and come to the surface. And then unfortunately she didn't one time, but fortunately Mike Nelson was there. And puts on his tanks and races out and saves her and brings her to the surface safely. That's what Mike Nelson did. Well, the girl in the trunk, the stunt lady who actually did the dangerous part, handcuffed in the trunk, was Betty Frazee, this beautiful lady. And Betty Frazee still lives in this area. She's still beautiful, and she usually comes out to our Sea Hunt events and meets the guys and talks about how wonderful it was to work in Sea Hunt. So there is a Silver Springs brochure. Now, this particular brochure also has, there's Betty Frazee again in the back, another picture of Betty on the sand and the glass bottom boats. And look right here, stamped, somebody stamped, Sea Hunt, now being filmed at Florida's Silver Springs. Now, work with me on this, okay? So you're at the local hotel. They didn't have Holiday Inn then. You're at your local Sunrise Hotel, whatever it was called, and you're 10 years old, and you're excited about Sea Hunt, and you're out in the front lobby, and oh, Silver Springs, pretty girl, pick it up, and all that. Sea Hunt! Mom! Dad! They're filming Sea Hunt right now! Come on, we gotta go to Silver Springs! I can just imagine. I know what I'd be doing. You're darn right. They had a stamp right on there to attract people to Silver Springs. And here we are today in Silver Springs, that famous spot, famous for Sea Hunt people, one of the biggest attractions ever. Long before Disney World and all those other places, this was the place to be. I'm so happy to be here and working with the Sea Hunt guys. You're going to see, if you look at our vintage playlist and Sea Hunt playlist, you'll see what we do here. We put on Sea Hunt scenarios where Mike Nelson, well, the guys in the club pretending they're Mike Nelson, go out and they save people and they shoot the bad guys with spear guns and they fight with giant anacondas. Yeah, all to entertain the visitors here on the glass bottom boats at Silver Springs. So take a look at the other playlists. I hope you enjoyed that. Silver Springs. Okay, I'm going to go and catch some rays now. My guys in Toronto, you take care of yourself. Nice talking to you. Alec, Peirce, Sea Hunt, remember.